The U.S. Department of Transportation announced today that they are awarding $48 million to the operator of the Downeaster train for a proposed new station.
The Northern New England Passenger Rail Authority operates the train. 2 years ago, they put forth a proposal that would move the station in Portland from its position at Thompson's Point to one closer to downtown on St. John Street near the bus headquarters. They say it will cut 15 minutes off trips northbound and southbound. The plan does not yet have the city's approval. Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty to 2 federal charges today in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. That happened on a Manhattan sidewalk in December of 2024.
In court today, Mangione pleaded guilty to 2 federal counts: interstate stalking resulting in death and stalking through the use of interstate facilities resulting in death. During the hearing, Mangione admitted to planning the shooting by posing as a potential investor and emailing the insurance giant to confirm the location of the investors' conference in order to track down and shoot Thompson. He also told the judge that he was driven to carry out the murder because of his experience with the healthcare system as a patient dealing with a back injury. Mangione now faces a maximum of life in prison during his sentencing hearing scheduled for December 18th. Immediately after he entered his plea, his legal team filed to have state charges against him dropped, citing New York's double jeopardy laws.
All across the greater Portland area, people this time yesterday were taken by surprise by a powerful storm system that charged right through the area.
Those storms started in the foothills of western Maine before getting supercharged in the Westbrook area, dropping torrential rain, piles of hail, and some seriously damaging winds. Now, today, cleanup began in earnest in one of the areas hardest hit by this storm, Cape Elizabeth.
That is where News CENTER Maine's Alex Haskell joins us live tonight with what he's seeing. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Amanda. So right now we are on Phillip Road. We've kind of been throughout this area throughout the day. Now, everywhere you look, it's just another reminder of how intense this storm really was. We're just seeing a bunch of branches on the ground. But what really sticks out to us, though, are how the folks living here is really taking things in stride.
I mean, I like it here. I'm staying here as long as I can.
93-year-old Richard Black has called this place home for 58 years.
Well, it was kind of wild for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes that left 6 trees on his home, water damage, and this massive hole in his garage. Enough damage to send just about anyone to a hotel for the night. But not Mr. Black. Thursday night, just like he has for nearly 6 decades, he slept right here in his own bed.
I got things I can do here. I want to go downstairs, I can paint.
And Mr. Black is far from the only one in this neighborhood with a lot of cleaning up to do.
It was a huge tree across the road.
Just down the street, David Raffaelli came home to find this massive maple uprooted in front of his house, still tied to one of its branches, a swing enjoyed by many.
You know, a lot of the kids in the neighborhood, and my kids grew up on it, so we always loved this, this maple tree.
His house was also narrowly missed by this uprooted pine. That tree, though, he won't miss quite as much.
I wasn't a big fan of the pine tree, so it's a bit of a blessing, but now we have to get it out of here, so.
As Raffaelli figures out how to get those trees out of his yard, back down the street, Mr. Black is figuring out how to put his home back together.
Oh yeah, all the insulation is all wet, yeah.
And if you're wondering whether all of the damage has this 93-year-old rethinking his living arrangements, not a chance.
I can handle it myself.
Yes, absolutely.
No big deal.
So right now we're actually right across the street from Mr. Black's house. You can take a look at his yard here. It's just a mess, but crews have been busy cutting down those trees that were on top of his roof. We do have some branches and just all these leaves and sticks that are still on his lawn. Now, his garage is right over here. You saw that massive hole in it. The tree that caused it somehow missed his car. So really, despite all of this damage here, Mr. Black says it could have been much worse. And we'll be coming back in the next half hour with another update here in Cape Elizabeth. Brian, Amanda, back to you guys.
All right, Alex, thank you. Gotta love Mr. Black's attitude.
Determined, taking on his own.
Well, the incredible damage concentrated in small areas from yesterday's storm suggests it was an event called a microburst.
Yeah, Ryan Bratton joining us to explain what that is. So Ryan, not uncommon, but also not unheard of.
That's right. And the damage really representative of a microburst, Brian and Amanda, and the evolution of the storm, too. This is a loop yesterday afternoon between 3 and 4 p.m., and you can see how it hit its max. You'll see the purples in here. That's the hail as it was coming right from Westbrook through Portland, South Portland into Cape Elizabeth. Using the velocity mode of the radar, which we use to look inside the storms at the winds, you can see how the wind really increased too. Now this is from the radar in gray, so this would be 43 miles per hour going away from the radar as it was going through Westbrook and the Jetport, but watch it spike as it crosses into South Portland and Cape Elizabeth. Radar estimating winds of about 65 miles per hour, and we had a reported gust of 69 miles per hour at the Jetport. The Weather Service estimating the winds in that part of Cape Elizabeth were 75 miles per hour. So what caused this? Well, every thunderstorm has what we call an updraft. That's warm, moist air getting sucked into the storm. And if an updraft is strong, it can hold raindrops up there and they freeze into hailstones. We saw that with all the hail that fell in Westbrook and on the west side of Portland in particular. There's also a downdraft that comes out of the storm, kind of breathing out of the storm, especially once this updraft starts to weaken. But sometimes this downdraft can be really localized, and that's exactly what we saw here. Kind of small and over a particular area, in this case from South Portland and Cape Elizabeth. This downdraft hit the ground, spread out, and that's what caused the strong wind gusts. It's called a downburst of wind with 70 to 80 mile per hour gusts. And if this is in an area that's about 2.5 miles in its width, it's called a microburst. There was not an official declaration from the Weather Service, but in my eyes and just about everybody else I've talked to, this fits the definition. Back to you.
Okay, Ryan, thank you. Well, we are now hearing from a construction worker who was on the Llewellyn Estes Bridge, or the Stillwater Bridge, in Oldtown yesterday when it collapsed.
His name is David Jermusic, and he's been working in construction for 9 years. He says this is the first time he has ever worked on a bridge that has been built using fiberglass. He also opened up to us about the moment that bridge came falling down.
It's terrifying. It really was. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Is the bridge totally going to come over on you? What's going to happen? Everybody is running. It was very bad. It was really terrifying. I personally will never work on a fiberglass bridge ever.
Crews from the Maine Department of Transportation are still on that scene. They are working to learn what caused the bridge to collapse and to minimize the impact on the construction schedule going forward. They did not clarify how long the construction delay could be, however.